What's up everyone? This is Pablo from DMAR Shoe Repair and welcome back to another repair video. Usually we do Goodyear welted boots and shoes and stitch down resoles, but today I wanted to switch it up and try something different. So today's repair video is going to be a pair of rock climbing shoes. There are very few people who do rock climbing resoles, so you don't see them out there on YouTube that often. So I thought I'd show the behind the scenes of what it takes to take apart the old soles, the old rands, and rebuild these to like new condition. So let's take these apart and get this video started. Before we get this repair started, just want to show you guys a little bit of the inner workings of a rock climbing shoe. So these have a very specific last or mold that they're made on. So in order to put a new rand or a new sole, you have to have a rock climbing last that's suitable for the shoe. So that's what we have here. This is a special made rock climbing last. You can see the shape matches the shoe that we're working on. Next we have the randing material, which is a thin rubber rand that's going to insert into the toe and replace the damage that's been done to the toe there. So this is the re-randing rubber. And then we have the soling rubber, which is the bottom of the sole here, which wraps around the side of the shoe. This specific rubber is the Vibram Grip 1, which is the middle durometer out of the 3 rubber offerings that I have from Vibram. There's also the Grip 2, which is super soft, super grippy, but will wear down sooner. This is the happy medium, offers grip and a little bit of longevity. And then I also have the Vibram XS Edge, which is this sheet here. So this sheet costs about $300, and I think I can get maybe 20 to 25 resole tears out of this sheet. So the cost is pretty expensive, but this is a very specialized rubber that's just for rock climbing. All right, let's get these babies taken apart. All right, so we have our shoe lasts inserted into the climbing shoes. So you can already see the shoe has some of its original form back. From all the climbing and wear, it kind of changed shape and position. So this is very important since we're going to be removing the rubber rand from the toe and then putting a new one on. So we want to keep that original kind of pointed toe. So the first step is to remove the old sole, and for that we're going to go onto our grinder and sand all that off. When it comes to removing the old rubber sole, there's a couple ways you can do it. I used to heat the rubber and then try to just peel it off, but I found that excessive heat could damage the midsole, kind of warp it, and then when you're trying to pull that half sole off, the rubber rand, you could actually pull the rand with it because the two materials are so bonded and fused together at the factory. It's really hard to separate it with just heat. So I find sanding is the best way to go about it. And actually I had a guy in the Pacific Northwest in the States who ran a very busy rock climbing resole business. So I reached out to him, asked him kind of some tips when I first started out doing climbing shoes. And he said the best way to do it is to sand them off. And as long as you're careful and you take your time, you can get that sole right down and just kiss the rand. No damage done, nothing gets overheated, there's no solvents involved. So to me, this is the cleanest way to take off the old materials. So the next step is to prep the rand, glue the rand, get the nice toe shape back, and then go from there. So now we're gonna size and cut our new rand, glue it on, reshape the toe, glue on our rubber half sole, let it cure, sand it down, and then these are done. Now this is just a little bit of thinner, which is cleaning the rubber, prepping it for the glue, get any dirt, debris, oils, so this sticks very strong, doesn't come loose. Give that a minute to evaporate, then we'll start our gluing process. Got a fresh batch of glue in our glue pot. We're using Renya all-purpose contact cement. This is the neoprene-based glue, made in Germany. This is the good stuff. Probably the most expensive glue on the shoe repair market. This glue is toluene and MEK free. So those are the very harmful cancer-causing agents that are still found in some glues today. All right, and for the gluing process, we are gluing rubber to rubber. So we're going to do one coat on both surfaces because rubber is non-porous. And we do over glue a little bit too. That way we know we're not missing any spots. All right, so we've given some time for our glue to dry. So I'm going to warm this rand up, warm up the rubber, make it a little bit more pliable, and stick it onto this climbing shoe. All right, guys, we have let our glue cure for a little bit. So we're going to do a little bit of touch up on the rand, just even everything out, make sure we have no wide spots. We already have our splice line sanded into the half sole. We have our Vibram Excess Grip 1 rubber sheet. We're going to splice that, put it on an angle, so we have 245s joining for a nice smooth transition. And then we have our very cool bladder press that we're going to press everything together, let that cure, sand the sides flush, and then we're done. So let's hop onto the sander and smooth everything out. Okay, this is my Scotch Brite wheel. This is a very, very fine, soft sander. So just going to do a little bit of detailing just to make sure everything is smooth, there's no bumps, and we don't change the shape at all of the shoe. All right, so we have our toe ran nice and sanded and everything evened out. I've also roughed up our Grip 1 Vibram half sole, and we have that splice line all done. So I'm just gonna do a final sizing and cut off part of the rubber that we're not going to use, just so I'm not wasting glue. Because these sheets are so expensive, I try not to waste. So that's the waste from what I cut off. Not too bad. And it's thinner time again. Got to make sure these materials bond properly. So give these a good clean. This is just a wire brush. Does a little extra roughing up and cleaning up, and I like to use it while the thinner's still wet. And we'll put some thinner on the half sole. Again, just cleaning off any dirt, dust, oils. We want a perfectly clean, uncontaminated surface. So again, we're dealing with non-porous materials such as rubber. So one coat of glue is all we need. And you want to make sure every square inch is covered in glue. We don't want any air bubbles or sole separation to occur. Let that cure, and then we'll heat it up and press it up. Cool, so we have our glue set up, cured. So it's time to warm these babies up and stick them on, hammer them on, and get them onto our sole press. I hope this video was enjoyable for you guys. A little bit different, of course, with the rock climbing shoes this time around. We're at the last step of the repair. We have our new rand, and our half sole has dried and cured, and I popped it into the freezer just to cool things off, because when I'm sanding, a lot of heat happens from all the friction, and I don't want the glue to activate, because it's very important that these stay stuck the entire lifespan. So let's hop these onto the sander and finish them off. All right, guys, that wraps up today's video. We re-randed and resoled a pair of rock climbing shoes using Vibram rubber and Vibram XS Grip 1. Thank you so much for watching. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks so much, guys.